Yo, welcome back to the GM Podcast. I'm Miller.
I'm Gav.
And today we will be predicting the 2026 NFC and AFC championship games that are happening tomorrow, actually. And let's get straight into this thing. First game we're going to start with is Denver and New England. Obviously, Denver is going to be hosting this game without Bo Nix.
Yep.
So do you think Denver has a chance in this one, and do you think they will come away with a win, or do you think the Patriots will pull it out?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a shot because of this defense, because Drake May has not played his best football, and, you know, he has had a few turnovers. But at the same time, give me the Patriots. I feel like they've been getting a little too disrespected. I understand, you know, Sean Payton, what he said about Jarrett Stidham maybe have given fans and people hope, like, oh, he's confident, like in Jarrett Stidham. I understand that, but he hasn't played in 2 years, and he has never played in a game remotely to this magnitude.
Yeah.
And the Broncos have been able to not rely on Bo Nix until the fourth quarter. But my thing is, if that happens, then you're going to eventually have to rely on Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
And I don't trust that.
That's very true.
Because there's zero body of work that I could go off and say, oh, yeah, I trust Jarrett Stidham in that situation. And the Patriots have found ways to win over and over. And this defense, it's not, you know, statistically rated the best defense, but you could argue it's the hottest defense in the league right now.
Yeah.
Playing great football.
Very true.
As bad as C.J. Stroud was, I'll give them some credit for making a lot of those plays.
Yeah.
And same with the Chargers game against Herbert. And if they could make Herbert and Stroud look that bad, obviously, I think as bad as it might be, Stidham will probably play better than both of those quarterbacks.
Yes, exactly.
But I don't think the Patriots are getting enough credit, and I'm going to have to pick the Patriots to win this game, and I feel like I'm dumb if I don't.
Yeah, so I have actually picked against both of these teams in every single playoff game they have been a part of. I picked the Chargers in the wild card round. I picked the Bills and the Texans last week. So my heart is telling me that since there's going to be a backup quarterback playing in this game, I shouldn't go with the backup quarterback. But I've been wrong every single time. So I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos to upset the New England Patriots at home. And this is why I think that will happen. You look at the offensive lines that C.J. Stroud and Justin Herbert were dealing with. Denver has one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League.
Multiple All-Pros.
Absolutely. And the New England Patriots pass rush has not been great throughout the season. They benefited on playing these two teams that were struggling on the offensive line, and they got to the quarterback a lot of times. I don't think it'll be the same thing in Mile High. Obviously, Drake May hasn't played an away game yet in the playoffs, and when you look at this Denver Broncos team, I believe the best player playing on the field tomorrow will be Patrick Surtain. And then I believe the next best player playing on the field will be Nick Bonito. And then you're talking about Drake May, obviously, in that mix. But once again, he still hasn't had an elite playoff game to date. And I think two of the most important matchups in this game is going to be Nick Bonito versus Will Campbell. Right? Will Campbell has struggled against the likes of Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Khalil Mack. Those are all pro guys, obviously.
Right.
But and then I'm interested to see what happens with either Stephon Diggs and Keyshawn Butte against Riley Moss. See if Drake May can take advantage of that at all. So that will be what I'm watching tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos, and it's not disrespect to Bo Nix, I don't think. It's just, again, the fact that Denver's O-line has been so great. And the way I saw Sean Payton scheme guys open last week, I thought that performance was amazing. I thought the Bills lost that game more than Denver won it because of all of the giveaways. I thought Buffalo was obviously the better team.
Right.
But Sean Payton put on an absolute coaching clinic in that game. And I think scheme-wise, playing in that altitude, I am going to take the Denver Broncos in a very close, low-scoring game in this one. Okay. Do you think that's so? I'll ask you this: do you think the Patriots are going to blow out the Broncos?
No, but I could see them winning by 10.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely
would be 14 or more.
Yeah, if Stidham is that bad.
Yeah.
And obviously the first two quarterbacks they have went against, C.J. Stroud in the divisional round, that's probably one of the, not only a bad performance, but that was probably one of the worst quarterback performances, regular season or playoffs, I've ever watched in my life. And then Justin Herbert is just, he's horrible. Let's be honest.
And my thing is with Bo Nix. What I love about Bo Nix is he's a gamer and he's a winner.
Yeah, very true.
And he comes through in the big moments.
Yeah.
But throughout the games, he's been bottom of the league in passer rating.
Yeah.
He's been bottom of the league in yards per, like things of that nature when we're talking throughout the course of an entire game. Yes, he comes huge, great comebacks this season. So I don't know. I just wonder Stidham. I just wonder what it looks like. I understand, a lot of coaches are high on him.
Yeah.
But I gotta see it.
Yeah.
I gotta see it, and I just feel like Drake May will settle in this game. I know this is the best defense he's played, but I think they'll find a way to win.
And like you said, if Drake May settles in, I believe it will be because of Kayshon Boutte or Stephon Diggs making big plays. And if they do make big plays tomorrow, I think they're creeping their way into like the top tier of receiver duos because people have kind of discounted Stephon Diggs' name.
Buddha's development over the course of the season is crazy. Been amazing. Like he's actually gotten better from game one.
Absolutely. And I think it's been because of Drake May and him being a gunslinger and giving him chances to make plays.
The deep threat is just
absolutely. I mean, let's not forget Boutte is an LSU receiver.
Yeah.
Right. You start giving these guys chances, you really see who they are, and also J.K. Dobbins. Coming back for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey from the backfield, it's not the same. J.K. Dobbins, everywhere he has been, at least, in my opinion, a top 15 running back in this league, a top-tier serviceable running back. For the Chargers last year before he got hurt, I thought he was amazing. When he played for Baltimore, when he got to play, I thought he was a pretty amazing back. And at the beginning of this year, he stacked up a couple of 100-yard performances behind this O-line. And if they can get some push on that Patriots front, obviously Milton Williams is back. They do got Spillane is back. Their trenches are a little bit stronger. They have been playing better. But that's where I think the game will be won in this game. Will Nick Bonito be able to kill Will Campbell on the edge, and will that Broncos O-line be able to get some push so J.K. Dobbins can stay ahead of the sticks and they can play ahead of schedule with Jarrett Stidham so he doesn't have to make too many plays. Yeah. So I got Denver, you got New England.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to the NFC Championship, we got Seattle and the Rams in Seattle, part 3 of a series right now that is separated by 1 point in total, and basically it's been flat even the entire time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you in this one, who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, with it being this close, and I'm so high on Stafford and McVay.
Yeah.
With it being this close, I'm going to have to take the team that I think has a better coach and a better quarterback.
All right.
Not a better roster in total, but I am going to take, when it comes to these big games, better coach, better quarterback. That means a lot to me. I'm going to take the Rams to win. One possession game for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it'll come down to that. I think Stafford game-winning drive, or Jared Verse makes a big play on defense, gets a stop, whatever the case may be. I think they will win. And I trust Matthew Stafford more than I do Sam Darnold in this situation, and that's not a knock on Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold has proven this year that he's capable of winning a Super Bowl with a good roster around him.
Absolutely.
He's done it last year with the Vikings, and now he's done it this year even better with the Seahawks. I think this is the game I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I was confident in my Patriots pick. This is a toss-up. I think it could go either way, but I'm going to go with the Rams and if Matthew Stafford does win this game, it puts him as, I think the third or fourth best QB of, my childhood.
So you would put Aaron Rodgers...
Maybe 4.
You would put him... Yeah, that's...
Yeah. And
you're going to stand by that take. Can I ask you, why do you think Matthew Stafford is better than Aaron Rodgers? What puts him ahead?
Arm talent, to me, is it's not a gap. I love Aaron's arm, but Matthew Stafford's arm talent is crazy.
Yeah.
I think Matthew Stafford, I know he was better in college. He was better in high school. He was the top pick quarterback. And he went to the Lions.
Yeah.
He went to the Lions, and he maximized that, honestly. He did the best he could, but he was with the Lions. He was in a terrible organization. And under, honestly, terrible coaching, terrible, everything. Megatron was the only bright side of his rosters, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And still found ways to win at times.
Yeah, he made the playoffs about 4 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
And the moment he leaves, he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And this is on the back end of his career where he still has his arm talent, doesn't have the mobility he had, like where he could at least throw on a run and things of that nature as much as he did in his early playing days. And I just think, like, if he would have been a part of, first of all, he'd already been to more Super Bowl appearances like,
that is true. He'll have more by the end of his career.
And he only has been at the Rams with this small increment. Like, so I think that if he was, I think it's fair to say that if he was a part of even this organization or any other organization for the most part, other than maybe like the Browns or like, you know.
The Rams, when he was, coming into the league, wasn't really a stable organization either.
But at least he would have been with McVay for like.
Yeah. He would have had McVay for a long. Like when Goff was drafted in 2017.
They would have won that Super Bowl, I think. Because Stafford puts up at least a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That type of thing. So,
absolutely.
I think we'd be looking at him completely differently. And like, I do think the winner of this, not to jump ahead, I do think the winner of this NFC Championship game will win the whole thing. Yeah. I think the NFC Championship is the Super Bowl.
I completely agree with that statement. And first off, I want to respond to the Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford thing.
Yeah.
I still do think Aaron Rodgers is a little bit better than Matt Stafford. I think the mobility aspect to Aaron Rodgers' game kind of puts him over the top for me.
Yeah.
And both of these guys, when it comes to high-level throws in crucial moments, you could put together a highlight tape and go tit for tat on some. The throw to Devontae Adams last week from Matthew Stafford on the comeback route from the right hash to the left sideline. Yeah. It's a select few guys that can do that. Yeah. I would argue Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford are the only guys that can do that. And I actually think they're very similar quarterbacks in how we think about them. As far as sitting in the pocket, being hyper intelligent, diagnosing defenses, and being able to make whatever throw inside of the pocket that they want to. And I don't think they get enough credit for that because you watch guys like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson get out of the pocket and spin it. But from the pocket, I don't think even those guys are as talented as getting the ball to where it needs to go with velocity, speed, anticipation, and all of those things. And these two, Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, are, for me, I would say Aaron Rodgers is top 3.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford since 2000, I would say, is in the 5 to 10 range. Okay. I would have to see.
So I'm saying if he wins the Super Bowl.
If he wins a Super Bowl.
Because that's what I'm saying.
We can run some down. If he wins a Super Bowl.
I would take him over Breeze.
Okay.
If he wins the Super Bowl. Okay.
I would too.
Okay.
Would you take him over Peyton Manning?
That's tough.
It's tough.
That's tough.
And the thing about Peyton,
I could see the argument though.
The thing about Peyton was he was so limited.
Pre-snap, he was the best quarterback ever.
Pre-snap, absolutely, he was the best quarterback ever. But once again, in the playoffs, when defenses are switching their coverages, giving you disguised looks, and he lacks mobility, there wasn't a lot of creativity. And this is not me slamming down on Peyton Manning.
No.
But I did watch, that entire year of the Super Bowl. Their Super Bowl year where they played Seattle, and he was amazing. Like pre-snap, he's tearing people up, throwing for however many yards he wants to. But I also look at it, and when he got to the Super Bowl, he didn't have a chance when he played against an elite defense, and that's what I think the separator is. Yeah. With Matt Stafford, when he plays against the likes of the Seattle Seahawks defense in that last game, and against the Eagles last year. Right. It doesn't matter. No. He's going to make whatever throw he needs to make. And that's where I think the difference is between them. But I will still give the edge slightly to Peyton Manning.
Yeah, and even Peyton, he didn't have a lot of great playoff performances for a long time in his career. So, I think that's why I say you can have Stafford as high as 3.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can.
That is true. I would still put Peyton, A-Rod, Brady. So maybe I'd have Stafford 5.
Yeah.
Stafford 5. I'm thinking about Drew Brees. Big Ben. Yeah. Obviously, you have to put up there. Lamar Jackson. Yeah. You have to talk about him as well.
And a thing that I want to talk about as well, this is a little off topic. We didn't have this planned. If Drake May wins this game, I feel like it's only right, maybe not to the exact degree, but we have to be somewhere in the vicinity of giving him the Joe Burrow treatment.
Oh, he's better than Joe Burrow if he wins this game.
Okay. Yes. Because and that's my point, because Joe Burrow, as great as he is and as bad of an organization as he's in and unfortunate situations, he is still living off going to the Super Bowl in year 2. He's still living off that. So we have to give Drake May that same treatment. No matter if they bad next year, whatever,
Yeah.
miss the playoffs, whatever, he gets hurt, whatever, we got to give him that same treatment because we did with Joe Burrow.
Absolutely.
And this is a guy who has the talent that Joe Burrow has. He can throw the deep ball from day one. Like, I don't know. I'm just, if we got a top 5 if he wins this game, top 5 quarterback.
I think you might be talking about going into next year. I wouldn't be mad if you picked him as high as
3
or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly what I think. And
Josh and Mahomes.
yeah, and I think the similarity with Joe Burrow was more productive in that first playoff run. He was a better football player in that playoff run, but he also had far better talent that he was throwing to.
100%.
Drake May is taking guys that we didn't know about and putting them on the map. And he's not playing great in this playoff run, but throughout the season he was pretty spectacular.
Still, with him not playing great, has had a lot of timely plays.
Absolutely.
A lot of timely plays.
Absolutely. So
to close games. And yeah, I was another off topic. I was ready to put Josh Allen over Mahomes for the recent. I really was. I was ready to. And that performance with all the turnovers and giveaways, I just couldn't see Mahomes doing that in a big game.
No, you can't.
And with the Chiefs being as bad as they were when Mahomes left, they were already bad, but with them like not able to win games.
Yeah.
Whenever he left, almost losing to the Raiders and they're just that bad. I'm still firm with my pick as Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And people had chances, and I saw Nick Wright say
Yeah.
Mahomes was the biggest winner of that divisional round weekend.
Yeah.
And people absolutely had chances. I think if C.J. Stroud, I'm not gonna actually. I can't even talk about that right now.
Yeah.
Let me get into my Seattle pick because that's far fetched right now.
Okay.
I'm taking Seattle in this game.
Okay.
And the reason I'm taking Seattle in this game is because the turnover differential in these two games was 7-1, and Seattle was in both games. To me, what that says is they're just better.
Yeah.
From the point
Offense,
of
defense, special
2
teams.
to 53, the Seattle Seahawks are a better team. They have just as good of a receiver as Puka Nacua. Obviously, they're not as good on the outside. But then you talk about the running backs. Obviously, Charbonnet
I would
is
say
out.
it's 1-2.
As far as Devontae and
This year,
yeah,
it's the best receiver.
It's 1-2 for sure.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I need to see a little bit more from JSN.
I'm just saying, if we're just going off this year,
this
like,
year, yes,
like,
100%.
obviously, I'm taking Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I'll take Jefferson over.
But this year,
I would take Puka number 1.
That's what I'm saying.
Period.
But this year, these were the best 2 receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And in the trenches right now, actually, I'm just going to talk about defensively. The way Seattle's defense can fly around and get timely stops, Shaheed getting these returns, I feel like that's going to be a big play in this game.
Pickup. I said that at the trade deadline.
Absolutely. The special teams for the Rams has not been good all year. This game is on Sam Darnold. It is on Sam Darnold. And you said that he's proven that he can take a team to the Super Bowl. I don't think he quite has yet because San Francisco didn't even deserve to be on the field with them last week, I'll be honest. And if Sam Darnold just doesn't lose them the game, I believe that they will win this game. Yeah. Because once again, I just really believe.
And I hate to like throw the comparisons, but as good as this roster is, it's not as good as last year's Eagles.
No.
But when we're talking about turning the ball over, or we're talking about big games, or whatever the case may be, granted, Jalen Hurts shows up way more in big games. But it reminds me of last year's Eagles, the way I said, I don't see a way that they lose unless the quarterback plays bad.
Absolutely.
That is the only way that I see them losing this game. But I do see that happening.
I can see that happening.
Exactly.
And that's my thing with, and I agree with you on that point. This is the pick 'em for me. Like, I have no clue who's going to win this game. Right. I'm actually more confident in my Denver pick, as you were with your New England pick, than I am picking this NFC Championship. Because same thing for me. Matt Stafford and Sam Darnold, that is a huge gap in my trust for me. But then the rest of the roster, how Seattle has been playing, and the home field advantage. If you saw last week how that stadium was rocking, I think that's a top 5 atmosphere in the NFL. Yeah. And if it can get rocking, if the Seahawks can just throw that first punch, I actually also disagree that the coaches you might trust Sean McVay more. That might be a thing, but I think they're just as good of a coach. I think Mike McDonald is just as good of a coach as Sean McVay is. And it's so tough for me to pick. because the Rams personnel-wise aren't that bad, but their defense just hasn't been playing great lately other than last week. So, once again, it's a pick 'em, but I am going to go with Seattle. Okay. And can I share the take that I had yesterday that I told you about real quick? My prediction for the Super Bowl is that we're going to have a repeat of the 2013 Super Bowl where Peyton Manning played the Seattle Seahawks, and on the first snap, the center snaps it over Peyton's head, and from then on, it was the biggest blowout in a Super Bowl that I have seen in my entire life. And that is exactly what I think will happen in this year's Super Bowl. I think Seattle will play a close game against the Los Angeles Rams, and they will pull it out at the end. I think Denver will win a close game, a low-scoring game against New England. They will play in the Super Bowl, and Seattle will smack the Denver Broncos.
Sam Darnold throwing it around.
Just throwing it wherever he wants to. Because the difference between the mismatch between Denver and New England and Seattle and New England, Seattle is Denver, but just better.
Yeah.
Everywhere across the board. Better receivers, just as good of a running back. I would say definitely better quarterback at this point. Yeah, but Kenneth Walker's still better than R.J. Harvey, and if J.K. Dobbins isn't 100%, he's better than him too. The defense is better in Seattle, in my opinion. So that is my prediction. I believe that it will be a repeat of the Super Bowl that happened in 2013, and Seattle will kill the Denver Broncos. But last thing we're going to get into.
Last question before you start that. Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl.
What are we doing with him?
Top 10? You know, for sure, right? Like top 10 for sure.
I don't know. I would have to count out the guys, and that we can actually do that in this next exercise.
Okay.
Because I just don't think Sam Darnold has done enough. Like, he hasn't played good enough in a particular game.
Okay.
I would love to see him
have one iconic game.
Just one game.
Okay.
Just play one.
I think it holds a lot of weight for me. Doing it with multiple franchises.
It does.
Because it's like, it comes down to, and seeing how bad the Minnesota Vikings were this year, you can't just be like, oh, yeah, we plug in any quarterback there. Like, no, you can't.
No, you can't.
It's not, like, as good as Kevin O'Connell is, no. Like, Sam Darnold deserves his credit at this point. He was the leader, the quarterback of a Super Bowl winning team. Yes. If that's the case. So I think in my personal opinion, he would have to be in my top 10. Obviously, he doesn't have an iconic game yet to where like we throw him in top 5, whatever conversations, but the talent is there.
So for me, it's like Jalen Hurts. The reason he gets elevated to a point to where people like me love him and elevate him to top 5 talks
elite games
is because he's had elite games in both Super Bowls. He's also had games exactly like what Sam Darnold played last week against the 49ers. Just like the NFC Championship and going to Hurts' first Super Bowl where they play the 49ers, Brock Purdy gets hurt, and he really doesn't have to do too much. Yeah. Against the Giants the game before that, he doesn't have to do too much. This game against the 49ers this year, to be quite honest, where nothing was available, but he didn't play a bad game. There was no way. He didn't raise the floor.
Exactly.
But he has had games in both Super Bowls, especially the first one. I think the first Super Bowl was Jalen Hurts' best ever game. And I don't think that's arguable in my opinion. The way he put the team on his back, made big time throws, ran the ball, which was him at his peak. That's the game we look back on as like, do y'all remember that guy? Yeah. We don't look at a Sam Darnold game right now and it's like, wow.
Yeah, we don't yet. You're right.
So real quick, I got called a hater the other day on the TikTok.
Okay.
Because of my discussion on Caleb Williams. And basically my point was, yes, the Bears should be optimistic about their future. But you can be optimistic about your future and still acknowledge the fact that you blew a tremendous opportunity to win a divisional round game against the Rams. And I thought I picked the Rams as you did to win that game, but I thought watching the game, the Bears were just the better team. They flipped it. Yeah, I absolutely think that. I think the offensive personnel is already there. I think Ben Johnson is already there. And I think if they don't turn the ball over, the defense was playing better than the Rams' defense was.
Yeah, I think what made me think the Rams were better and just, more experienced, whatever the case may be, especially with Ben Johnson going for it on all those fourth downs and not taking their points.
Yeah.
The fact that they dominated the first half and it was tied.
Exactly.
Kind of just was like, okay, like, the Bears just dominated and it's tied. Like, I just thought the Rams were, honestly, I thought the Rams were a better team. And I thought, it took a heroic play from Caleb Williams. I do think they should have went for 2. Obviously,
too.
Ben Johnson, I understand what he's saying, like not being good in the red area, but I don't know. And obviously, Caleb Williams, you can't turn the ball over there, but yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't all his fault either.
No.
But I got called a hater because of that, and
Okay.
that's okay. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna break down the quarterbacks that you would take going into next season over Caleb Williams. All right. So I'm gonna give you some quarterbacks,
Okay.
and you're gonna tell me
And if I think Caleb Williams is going to do better than this quarterback, I'm going to take Caleb Williams.
yes next year.
Okay.
Going into next year.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start out. Patrick Mahomes,
Give me Pat.
Josh Allen,
Give me Josh.
Drake May.
Give me Drake.
Okay. Now is where it gets pretty interesting in my
Okay.
opinion. All right. Lamar Jackson.
Give me Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams over Lamar Jackson. I think you're crazy.
I think he's going to have a better year next year. That's why I asked that question before we started.
Okay.
I think Lamar Jackson's better than Caleb Williams.
Okay.
I think Caleb Williams is going to be better next year. I'll explain why in a second.
Okay. We'll get it. So we'll come back to that one.
Okay.
Okay. Joe Burrow.
Caleb Williams.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Jalen Hurts.
Caleb Williams.
All right.
Once again,
by the way,
yeah.
I've disagreed on every single one of these so far.
Okay.
Justin Herbert.
Caleb Williams for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
That's where we
sure.
get to an agreement.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield.
Caleb Williams for sure.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, Caleb Williams for sure.
Brock Purdy.
Caleb Williams for sure.
Trevor Lawrence.
This is close. Caleb Williams.
Okay. And then
Williams.
Sam Darnold.
Give me Sam for next year.
Give you Sam?
Yeah.
So you pick Sam over.
Once again, can I?
Okay,
are we done now?
No, I got one more.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels.
I haven't done enough research to see who's coming back or like what that roster looks like.
Okay.
But from what I know, I'm gonna say Caleb Williams will have a better year next year.
Okay. Well, would you take Caleb Williams on your roster?
Oh, then we have to restart.
Okay, we're restarting this entire.
Then we have to restart. That's why I asked my disclaimer at the beginning.
Yes,
That's why I asked my disclaimer.
my fault.
Okay.
So he just told you guys it wasn't a waste of time because he just told you guys who he thinks is going to have, or who he thinks Caleb Williams is going to have a better season than next year.
Yes.
So that's one thing. Now we're going to get into the next thing on would you take this quarterback or Caleb Williams?
Okay.
Okay.
For just next year.
For just next year.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
Pat.
Josh. Allen,
Drake.
Lamar. Joe Burrow. Okay. Now I think we get to the part where it's interesting.
Okay.
All right. Jalen Hurts.
Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
And Caleb.
Oh,
Give me Caleb.
all right. I'm pausing it right here. We gotta talk about this.
Give me Caleb.
Why are you taking Caleb Williams over Jaden Daniels?
I love what I saw this year. I think he just has a better, and once again, this probably goes into how I answered the last question.
Yeah.
He just has a much better situation.
Yeah.
He just has a much better situation. He has a better defense and he has a better offense and he has a better coach.
Absolutely.
And that has to matter at some point in a player's success. I mean, we've seen it literally with Sam Darnold. He was on the Jets.
Yeah.
And we were saying he sucked. He didn't suck. The Jets sucked.
Yeah, that's true.
And as good as Jaden Daniels is, you predicted it more than me. Like, obviously got injured.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to be as dominant as last year, and I was surprised by that. And yeah, I just think there's way more momentum going on with Caleb Williams' career. And, that does have to do with not him, but the things around him. But it plays a factor. I had to say, because if Drake May was on the Jets right now, I'm not going to lie, we would be saying he sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But for just watching what we've seen already and what Jaden Daniels did in his first year, I think people forget so quick. And I think that if you put him obviously healthy, and durability has a lot to do with who you're picking.
And I think he's losing Kingsbury.
And he's losing Kingsbury as well, which I don't think is as big. I'm not the biggest Kingsbury guy because he runs such a college read options type of offense. He did it with Kyler Murray as well.
Yeah.
But I think Jaden Daniels, what he did in his first year was enough for me to think that he is still the best rookie to come out of that class. He is still the best rookie quarterback to come out of that class.
What if Drake wins this game?
If Drake wins this game,
You gotta put Drake up.
Jaden Daniels is still the best. I need
In
to
that
see
class?
Drake. Yeah, if Drake May wins the Super Bowl, then I'll give it to Drake May.
Okay.
But I still think Jaden Daniels is the best to come out of that class, and I do think he is getting hurt by the organization he is in, and that's not his fault. Once again, the question for me
Yeah, it's
is
not.
who are you going to take as your quarterback if you had the same situation?
McCarthy's the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Wow.
Are you serious?
I don't like
so
it.
let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that real quick since we just all right, we're done.
We're all over the place. in
We're
this
all
episode.
over the place right now. So you're taking Caleb Williams over before we
Yeah,
start that.
yeah.
You're taking Caleb Williams over everybody but Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Drake.
You didn't
and
finish.
Burrow.
You didn't finish. I felt like there was some other games.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Because you took Caleb over Hurts, you took Caleb over Daniels. Are you taking Williams over Herbert?
No. God, no.
You're not taking Caleb over Herbert?
Oh, I am taking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're taking Caleb
They're
over
asking
Herbert.
another way.
Yes, I would also take Caleb over Herbert. Are you taking Caleb over Trevor Lawrence? I think Trevor Lawrence is actually an interesting one for next year.
He's good,
With Liam
dude.
Cohen.
Yes,
I
I'm telling
think-
you.
I think
But
they have a
obviously
lot of
he had
positive-
to pick at the end of the
Yes.
game. Like, and he made some throws in the fourth though.
No.
Like I liked what I saw from Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen. He's
Yes.
he's that dude for me.
Yes.
Like I like Liam Cohen.
It's an example to me. It reminds me of the Josh Allen game versus Denver. A lot of people will trash Josh Allen for the Denver game,
Yeah.
but he played good. The
Yeah.
problem is when people keep telling you that he's the best quarterback in the world,
Yeah.
and then he does something like that,
Yeah.
then we got to bring it back down to earth.
Yeah.
But nobody was saying that Trevor Lawrence was even top 5.
No.
So you look at that game and you're like, well, he played pretty good, kept his team in the
Yeah.
game. Obviously, there's mistakes he could have had back, but he played pretty good in that game to throw some interceptions. We didn't talk about Jordan Love.
I like Jordan Love.
I like Jordan Love as well.
Jordan Love.
And I think Jordan Love in this playoff game was amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He was picking them apart.
Yeah.
So
I
easy.
like Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love a lot.
You like Jordan Love? So you like Jordan Love over Caleb?
Yeah.
Wow. So guys, what he basically just said is that Jordan Love is the 6th best quarterback in the National Football League.
Yeah, that's not crazy. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like Jordan Love. I
do-
really do like Jordan
I
Love.
do think he helped his
Like
his
I
stock.
think, if he has Micah Parsons and his tight end.
Oh, yeah, they win.
Kraft.
They win.
Yeah,
They
like
win.
I think he has a healthy. And I'm not talking about.
You got to imagine if you're up 24-3 and you know the other team has to pass. That's where you want Micah Parsons. Literally,
Yes.
that type of game
Yes.
is when you have Micah Parsons is when you could take
Yes.
over.
And
The
that's why they traded for him. Micah Parsons he's like the closer. He's the closing pitcher.
Yes.
Like he would have won them that game.
And then they would have went to Seattle, and I'm sorry, I would have took Green Bay.
yeah.
I don't. So it is interesting for me. And by the way, I would have taken Jalen Hurts over Caleb as well.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Yeah, and so
I was just going for next year.
I would probably say Caleb is around 8 to 10 for me right
That's
now.
fair.
That's
fair.
Yeah. So
you
all
can
right.
have him anywhere. And I think, like, to finish that take, the reason why I'm so high on Caleb for next year is he has a lot of offense coming back. I love the 2 tight ends. Like, I love the rookie Loveland. I love Loveland.
Oh,
I think Loveland is going to be the best tight end in this league one day. I do think that.
I think he
As a
will
pass
be.
catcher.
I think he will be top 3 by next year.
Like, yes, like he had his first drop of the season like with a week to go,
Yes,
or like
yes.
he's elite.
He's a problem.
And with the personnel that they have, running back with the offense, like literally offensive line, like receivers, everything. Bring back the offense. You just get more comfortable and you get more continuity. I would draft the first 5 rounds defensive players.
Yes.
And that's the luxury this organization has. You can just go draft defense.
Yeah.
You can go draft a pass rusher. You can get some more corners to guard the other team's elite receivers in this conference, like if you play the Rams. Like, you can just draft, you can maybe draft one receiver late, hope he pans out or can have some impact right away. And then maybe a lineman. Everybody else, you can just go draft defense. And I think they could have the best roster next year in the league. They could have the best roster in the league because you don't have to pay Caleb Williams yet.
My point also in that video was that this all could happen, and they still could. Because I've watched Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow never do it.
Yep.
And when you watch Lamar Jackson's first unanimous MVP, there was no doubt he's about to go win the Super Bowl. When you watch Josh Allen,
them Ravens teams, like Josh Allen and Lamar now are the 2 best quarterbacks to ever not win a Super Bowl.
And I think Josh Allen, it's been year after year. They should have won a Super Bowl based off how good he's been. And that year that Baltimore was the 1 seed, when they lost to Kansas City at home in the AFC Championship, that was their year. That was their year. They played San Fran earlier in the season that year and destroyed them. I think that was their year, and they just couldn't get it done. Yeah. But moving on, and since we just got breaking news, I'm glad you saw that. Yeah. Mike McCarthy is going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. Wow. I heard reports, Ben Roethlisberger was talking about it this week, that he thought him and Aaron Rodgers would be a perfect match. Let me know, what do you think about this move?
I think Aaron Rodgers coming back is the worst thing with Mike McCarthy, is the worst thing that this organization could do. And I think it puts them in another lateral position to where they can't get a top quarterback, and you can't get Dante Moore next year. You can't get whatever top quarterback is at the end, like is in this class. Can't get Arch Manning. They need to be bad for a year, or they need to have, like, I don't know, a good offensive year, something. They need to do something different, because they might go 8-9 or 9-8. They might get the 16th pick in the draft next year. Like, this does nothing for them as an organization, because once again, you are put in a position where it's like they could win some games. Like, they could win. They're going to win some games. Yeah. But you know there is a 0% chance that they can win a Super Bowl. In my personal opinion, there is a 0% chance that they could go beat Josh Allen.
I would actually go a little bit lower than 0%. And I'm going to be honest. You've heard me say this before. I think being a Steelers fan is one of the worst over this past decade.
I mean, yeah. What are we picking under them? The Jets?
What are the Panthers? This 1 year
is better than
anything they've had. Yes. Because it's over and over again. How could you be thrilled with this? How the Pittsburgh Steelers remind me of stale milk. Cracker Barrel. The telephone with the dial on it. Yeah. It's like, can we get newer? Yeah. Why are we so old-fashioned, behind the times? What is this move? What is this move? I would give it an F-.
He's going to be there for how many years? 5?
It doesn't, and that's my thing.
10?
Maybe Aaron Rodgers leaves, and you're looking at getting a quarterback anyway. You're looking at tanking with Mike McCarthy. Maybe that's the game plan. But Mike McCarthy, I think, already brings an offensive floor that's too high. Yeah. It's too high. You could go into a new coach, give him a try, and he could be your coach just like Mike Tomlin was for 20 more years. Yep. Now you get Mike McCarthy, who... How old is Mike McCarthy? Could you look that up while I'm speaking real quick? I want to say
62,
He's at least 60 years old. And he's not... Like, him and Aaron Rodgers... The reason...
On the dot, 62.
62. Yeah. Him and Aaron Rodgers were not best buddies at the end of their tenure in Green Bay.
No, some people said that Aaron got him fired. A lot of people said that.
He wanted him gone. And Mike McCarthy doesn't come... So this is my thing. Literally the thing you've been dealing with. High floor, low ceiling. He brings you too high of an offensive floor, and as a time management culture guy, it's too low of a ceiling. Yep. He has not shown consistently. He's won a Super Bowl. Okay, fine. When Aaron Rodgers was getting paid no dollars, and he was still the best quarterback in the league.
And that was a year, like, not to discredit a Super Bowl, but there wasn't, like, look at who he played. He didn't run into another dominant quarterback. No. He got lucky in that run.
So,
matchup-wise.
You cannot be happy as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan right now. And your organization is doing the same thing it's been doing for the past 15 years. Yeah. And you can't expect, with no good skill position players. I'm sorry, DK Metcalf is not as elite as people would lead you to believe.
No, he's not top 10 receiver.
Their running backs, I said this the other week, this is the best their running backs have been since Le'Veon Bell.
Literally.
And they're still not good.
No.
You're talking about... I just can't believe that this is the move they went with. Yeah. I cannot believe that they didn't go get, I don't know, Clint Kubiak from Seattle. Yeah, just waited. Like,
yeah. And the notion, like, Steelers fans, like, we never suck. Like,
yeah, well, you're going to be mad at having. Yes, I'll be mad at having all these winning seasons because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're not proving to me anything.
You're just one of the guys.
You're not even a threat.
No, it's like. I'm trying to find like a real world comparison.
This reminds me of like when the Bulls go to the play-in every year.
Yeah.
Or like
exactly. You're literally a play-in team.
Yes.
You are an
NBA play-in team that has no chance of winning.
Isn't there like a meme in the NBA with the Eastern Conference? It's like
they have the same play-in every year, every single year.
The Bulls, Hawks, Heat, Invitational.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, bro. This is a horrible move by Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But it's Pittsburgh. I expect no less from what I've seen. What's the score?
We're down 1. We came back.
So we're about to go watch this North Carolina
Let's go Heels, baby.
And real quick, I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but shout out to our alma mater, Central Cabarrus, for a hard-fought win last night.
That was good high school hoops last night.
Cabarrus County, Charlotte. I've been seeing some Charlotte high school games as well.
Yeah.
The culture in North Carolina for high school basketball, it's unmatched.
Yeah.
Unmatched. I know Indiana might have something to say about that.
Yeah.
But North Carolina, especially in the metro area with Charlotte, Cabarrus County, it is extremely fun to watch.
Yep.
Great energy. And in a
Love
world,
to see all the good school spirit and pride that's behind the games.
In a world where there's a lot of private school NIL things going in, you love to see public schools going at it with chambers.
Love to see kids staying at home, winning where they were, where they grew up.
Exactly. So, props to them for fighting their tails off, both teams. Yeah. And thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.